The Hungry Gamers.
Hello, 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 and welcome, boils and ghouls, to the 83rd episode of the Angry Grave Diggers podcast, aka the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net, Audio Technica, AK Racing, and your soul. I'm your not so humble host, Brendan White. Find me everywhere at Brendan8bit. Joined today, my two partners in crime, Reece Kirby, can be found at...
That's Kerboo.
8bit on the Twitters. And Miss Ali, I'll Eat Your Heart, who can be found at Miss Ali Heart. Welcome to the asylum.
Oh, yes. Very scary times. Very scary.
I mean, this place is constantly insanity, so yeah, Asylum is probably the best one.
And none of that was rehearsed, so I know probably some of it fell flat, so I apologise in advance, but I think we did well.
We did very well for another themed episode. I think we should give ourselves a pat on the back. And
or a knife in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, calm down.
Yeah. Got enough of those already with you guys. No.
Damn.
No shade. Yeah. What's going on, boys and girls?
Well, it is PAX Amania.
Yeah, getting there. Getting toward that
Which is
PAX.
scary enough in itself.
It's imminent.
Yeah.
This episode is coming out hot off the press after the 82nd episode due to some technical difficulties from Salim, too busy to dream Abraham.
Yeah, but to be fair, I heard his apartment got flooded, so he was catching a wave in his bedroom. Poor kid.
Yeah, so 2 episodes this week because we have been a little bit erratic as of late with releases and what have you, and apologies on that, but it is what it is.
Life happens.
Life happens.
As does shit.
As does shit.
Death.
As does PAX and scary things like Halloween. So we thought we'd theme this little fella a little bit different to the usual. Dive into some spooky questions and thoughts and games and
where will you be in 5 years? That's a fucking spooky one.
Yeah.
How's your financial debt?
Yeah.
Can you afford a mortgage in the Sydney climate?
Oh, please make it stop.
But I guess we should start the episode as we always do with find out what's been going on. Tell us things. What have you been playing? Anything of note, anything exciting that you've been up to this past week that was?
I mean, I'll kill it off first, only because I've been just playing the same old crap that I usually play, which is PUBG. Still loving it, still pushing it, still trying to get everyone to play it.
How many chicken dinners did you get this past week?
None.
Welcome to my life.
That game's
That's
just
not
going to
your
make
life.
me hungry.
I still have chicken dinners under my belt.
You didn't
I
this
really
week.
want chicken now.
So what?
Yeah.
But yeah, playing that, and decided to actually play for the first time Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of the Borderlands series, but I never played the pre-sequel. And by golly, is it good?
It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
And it's so interesting playing a video game with that like high level production, but all the Australian accents.
Yeah, true.
Just surrounding the area, and it's like true like Australian accents, like. Really
what is it with post-apocalyptica and Australia? Why is there always a tie?
Because
that's
we're always a
curious.
pretty barren landscape in current day social climate. So you just add some more death, maybe
I don't
a
know.
few
Have you
flaming
been to
cars,
Chatswood?
and it's not too far.
It's pretty built up over at Chatswood. I feel like Chatswood would be the Blade Runner.
Really?
Yeah, because there's so many high rises.
No, I'd say Chinatown in this city.
Did you hear that Blade Runner got the vibe? Is it? I haven't seen the movie, the new movie
Neither
yet,
have
but
I,
apparently,
I'm chomping at it.
like Las Vegas or some area in that movie, was actually the idea was taken from the sandstorms or the firestorms in Sydney or in Australia,
Yep.
like how the landscape.
I heard it
and
was
climate.
taken from the hit Darude song.
Oh,
Sandstorm.
which is Sandstorm. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is a scary episode, guys. So
Ho-
there's that
hopefully-
reference.
Bang a track, that one.
Hopefully, no films come out soon that are based off Scooter.
Oh, Scooter was the best. He had a song called Fire, and he would scream things out before like the beat would kick in. And in one of them, he just goes, "Chili bowl." That English to Dutch translation just didn't do well.
I'll
Everything
say-
was like, "Fire, make yourself dance," and then chili bowl.
I'll say one thing though. He did discover Justin Bieber.
Oh, did he? Wow.
Him and Usher were the two driving forces for Bieber fever.
And now Bieber's like, Mr. 20-year-old.
Give me that crack, son.
Yeah, and poor Scooter.
He's literally just riding a scooter somewhere now. Just pushing his way through life.
Everyone's got scooters now in the city.
Yeah.
I see them everywhere. I'm like, no. And it's like, how would you be being a cyclist and seeing someone on a scooter in the bike lane?
You know what I saw yesterday in
Scum.
Canberra that made me shudder was a grown man wearing overalls genuinely. Like, not like
He wasn't
trying to
painting.
be ironic or like take
He
the
wasn't
piss.
plumbing.
Nah, he was a trendy, well-dressed dude. He had a tight haircut. He had some nice-looking shoes. He had a white T-shirt, and then he had sort of washed blue denim overalls.
Now, did he have the token like one undone?
Nah, they were both. He wanted consistency across the shoulders. He wanted that
I
symmetry.
just think that overalls look really comfortable. I kind of want to
They're
wear
not
them purely
though.
for that
From what I
reason.
remember when I used to wear them, they're not. Because it's the kind of it's all connected. So if you if you kind of moved your shoulders, you kind of
I
give
want
yourself
to
a
know
bit
with
of a
those
wedgie.
Yeah.
play suits, like, how do you take a shit in those?
That's why you get the ones with the little bum flaps.
You can't get them with bum flaps.
Don't think they come with bum
You
Like a
flaps.
romper.
Make your own bum flap. You just cut it out.
Well, you just
Just maybe make sure, like, if you're wearing
'Cause I'm
like the
like,
short
if I-
ones, get a really loose leg and just like tilt.
Yeah.
because I don't know about you.
rip it
Yeah,
across.
rip it to the side.
I
Go
would-
for it.
I'd wear a romper.
I want to see you in one.
I'd wear a
Yeah.
romper. So if I want to wear a romper and I need to take a deuce, does that mean I just have to get naked?
You pretty much
I
got
think
to
so. Like,
the way down
I've
to your
never
ankles,
worn
yeah.
one, but yeah, the whole consensus with the female perspective is that they have to
So
drop
mental.
drop it all off.
Let's get you a romper.
Let's get 8-bit rompers.
Nah.
Yeah, we're doing
You're
it.
wearing. I'm not touching one of these
8-bit
things.
rompers. I will wear one.
8-bit rompers are
Just with-
probably in the same category as the 8-bit purple G strings.
I'd wear that
Yeah.
too.
Edible ones too. Grape flavored.
Oh, see,
Yep.
now I'm okay with that.
Yeah, grape flavored.
Yeah. If you're not eating underpants, you're not living.
Just a
That's what they
romper
tell me.
with little Craigs all over them.
I mean, your ass is eating G strings, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, most underpants I wear turn into a G-string anyway.
You just cut the cheeks out.
Yeah, you ever seen a walrus flossing? Yeah.
Spooky episode.
So what else you been doing? You've been playing a bit of Borderlands. You've been playing a bit of pub.
Yeah, no. And the only other thing is, like, I've been rewatching Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
one of the best shows of all time.
Because I dropped off when I originally watched it. I dropped off at season 2.
Oh my god.
I'm such an
Mate.
impatient viewer. Like, you guys know that if something doesn't captivate me enough,
Yeah.
but like I was reassured that it did kind of get better. So yeah, and it's all right. Like, I still don't rate it as high as some people do, but it's all right. Ron
do.
Perlman, so like, you know, you can't do too wrong.
Yeah, Rod Perlman with his weird giant head.
Oh yeah. He is just a big ball of clay.
That's why
Holy
his name's
shit.
Clay.
Oh my god!
didn't
I
even
thought you
mean
meant that.
Nah.
Oh goodness me. He's a great guy. You guys should look at his answers at the Reddit AMA that he did. Ask Me Anything. It was great answers.
The Mark Maron episode's good with him as well.
Oh.
Worth having a listen.
What about you, Kerbo or Kerboo, as
Oh,
they say
yeah.
during Halloween times?
Thanks, Brendan White Zombie, which it says on your Twitter, which is a very good one. I was actually really impressed with everyone's Twitter handles because everybody had a really, really great one, and I came to mine and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And then I came up with Kerboo.
I changed mine to debt for like half an hour, and then I just went, only I found this funny, so I changed it back again.
What could yours be?
I
Miss
don't.
Sally Heartless.
I don't know. I would
Yeah.
like see. Yeah, but that's just the truth. That's not Halloween.
Yeah, I was thinking like back alley mortuary murder.
Back alley. Hey, that's not the first time that I've got that
Meow.
nickname.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. Kind of trailed off a bit. That's the story of my life. What have I been doing?
Been playing some games?
Yeah, I have,
Some
but
of
this
those
is hard to
video.
talk about because we skipped an episode, and I don't know whether to talk about that stuff or not.
No, that's
So-
that's out. Listeners now listening to this would have already listened to the previous episode.
Yes, so I am currently a version of myself in a former life that's come back in time to stop me from making mistakes.
You
So-
like a T1000?
Yeah.
I need your
maybe a
jacket and your
T800
motor.
just
Yeah,
to be
I'm
on.
a T200.
Okay.
No, what have I been doing? I've been just sampling a lot of demos, really. I played the Spelunkers demo on Steam, dug the shit out of that.
I'm assuming there's a digging element in the game?
Yeah, there is a digging element.
Because that
to the
fell flat with us two because we haven't played the game.
I was looking around for that sort of approval for a while. Thanks for that, Ali. So
Scary
That was
episode.
much louder than I thought it was going to be.
there's a ghost in here.
Spooky ghost.
Oh yeah, and I picked up Luigi's Mansion on
On the cube?
on DS for
Such a great game.
like $15, and it was a fantastic purchase.
That's such a great game.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is. Like,
Yeah.
if you haven't played it, definitely
Very
give it a go.
underrated. It
I'd
just-
just
it's
like to say, hey,
Mario.
Nintendo, if you're listening,
Mario.
where's my Virtual Console with Luigi's Mansion on it? Because that's one of the games they said is going to be on Virtual Console for my Switch.
I reckon. What,
Hurry up.
Christmas?
Nah, it'll be next year sometime. They're riding this wave. Nintendo are just
It's going to be good
can
when
do no wrong.
Pokemon come out on the Virtual Console for Switch.
Yeah,
That'd be
well,
good.
they were talking about at least on the DS, bringing out Silver and Gold little ports for the DS.
Yeah, I really couldn't be bothered playing the GBA stuff.
Well,
Not even GB. Yeah, like original Game Boy. Because GBA stuff's really, really good. Like Advance Wars, one of my favorite games.
I know we're not doing a typical news episode this week per se, and I don't know if you guys covered it on the episode before this because it's still in the ether with Dream floating around in his apartment.
It was a really good episode. Like we were really happy with it.
Did you talk about the copyrights that Nintendo or the patents that Nintendo have filed
No.
for the potential release of a new Game Boy, or like on this nostalgia trip with the NES
No.
Classic and now the SNES Mini?
No.
Well, I thought they were going to do the 64 next.
Oh, I think it'll come too, but they've filed some patents on some Game Boys, but I don't know how you can miniaturize that already. Like, unless you do the Game Boy,
Well, there was a mini version.
yeah, which was the thinner version.
the micro. There was the micro.
that's too impractical.
I
for me.
liked the micro. It was cool because you could have it as a keyring, and yeah, I dug that.
I don't know. They always fucked up when they called it a pocket fucking Game
That's
Boy.
it,
and it
Game
didn't
Boy
even,
Pocket,
Didn't
yeah.
even fit in your pocket.
Yeah, what size pockets are you guys using over there in Japan
Well,
at
It would
Nintendo?
suck
If you-
nowadays
but if
because
you
pockets
think-
are never real pockets anyway. Well,
Yeah.
that's
If
for
you think
girls'
about
pants.
it now, they could
Am I
make
right,
it
ladies?
almost like a smartphone, but with obviously tactile buttons. Like, I reckon they could do a really good job of it. I
They're
reckon
bringing
it'd be,
back the
like really
the
sleek.
N-Gage.
Oh, I had an N-Gage.
So impractical.
Yeah.
I remember a friend of mine had one at school and he was playing Pandemonium on it all the
Yeah,
time.
I used to play Pandemonium. Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't want one.
yeah, because you had to like, if you remember what the N-Gage looked like, it's
Gross.
well,
Looks like a little Switch.
my friends used to call it a cyber taco because that's what it looked like,
Oof.
and you had to hold it on the
I think that's a
side.
digital porn term.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds sexy.
Yeah, you had to hold it on the side to do the. Oh, gross! Why would you do that?
It's a scary episode.
Yeah, it's scary, not
That's sexual.
unsettling. Scary doesn't mean turn into a fucking weird pedo.
I said I was doing that to someone underage. You're the one with the rolled up Wolfie beanie.
So you had to hold
Kirby
the
Mulatto over here.
you had to hold the cyber taco on the side to make a call. It was very odd and strange. But yeah, I used to play Tony Hawk's and Red Faction on that bad boy. That was good stuff.
Bring back Red Faction.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember that being too bad.
It was the king of the destructible environments, the old Red Faction.
And Time Splitters.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny to me that like games like Team Fortress 2 and PUBG and Fortnite, they're all like really popular games now because that's essentially a good callback to Time Splitters, which was that sort of really good co-op shooter. Yeah. But what games do you reckon will be on the 64 Mini? GoldenEye,
GoldenEye's a must.
Ocarina of
Mario
Time,
Kart 64,
Yeah,
Super
Mario Kart.
Mario 64, 1080 snowboarding,
Smash Brothers,
Donkey Kong 64.
Smash Bros, Donkey Kong
SSX.
64.
Like
1080.
Wipeout Zero. What is it?
Oh, F-Zero X.
F-Zero X.
Wipeout
I
was
love that
the
fucking game.
bloody jet ski game.
Oh, no, that was Wave Race.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they'll put Airboarders on there. Did anyone play Airboarders?
I played Airboarders. Loved it.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It was actually pretty good.
Snowboard Kids.
Lilac Wars.
Yeah, Lilac Wars. Oh, maybe Shadows of the Empire or Rogue Squadron.
Mm.
They were good games too.
Oh, pod racing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, pod racing.
That was such a terrible
Annie.
country.
A Jedi! What do you know?
Poodle.
Good old Watto.
Watto.
Yeah, so, no, apart from that, a few demos, bit of Luigi's Mansion, obviously still playing Cuphead, but you can listen to my full in-depth Cuphead talk in the other episode.
You still dying lots?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just part of life, I'm not getting upset about it, because you start so quickly from the time you die. It's just...
Yeah, the load and render times that
Yeah.
they've put together for that game's fantastic.
Into it. Very
in
into
and out,
it.
in and out. It's not as quick as something like Super Meat Boy, but it's still there's no reason to complain about the load in times for all those countless deaths that plenty of Cuphead and Mugman players face on the daily.
So I think I'm going to try and source a copy of the new Fire Emblem game, which is like a Musuo game.
Yeah, I've played it. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
I'm not going to buy it.
No, but I'm like, I'm just weak because it's Fire Emblem.
Played one Musuo game. You've played literally every other Musuo game in the universe.
I'd like to hear from a fan that's a Musuo, connoisseur, if there is such a thing.
How can you be?
Because
kills 1,000 enemies in a level.
It might
There's a
be
boss.
your
Go
wheelhouse.
kill him. There's an item. Pick that up. Now go kill another.
Tell
1,000
me,
enemies.
what do you think? How do you differentiate between Dynasty Warriors games? And also people that play like the Dragon Ball games, I feel like they're probably another, because to me they're just the same game 50 times over.
Not the new one. The new one looks good.
Yeah, new one looks boss.
So,
but I think Aclay from a couple of NPCs just picked up Fire Emblem. So,
he would, yeah.
So hit him up on the Twitters.
Fiend.
Say, hey, give me your hot takes and your hot cakes.
Spooky.
I've been playing some games.
Have ya?
I don't want to touch too heavily on the PUBG because we talk about that all the time.
All the time.
Chicken dinner watch. I'm still #stay hungry. Still chasing that elusive bird. I'll get there eventually. I actually played a bit of Rocket League last night. First time in a long time.
There's a very, very strong rumor that Kim Jong-un plays Rocket League a lot, and that he's on Rocket League all the time.
Is this based off anything you've read?
It's like a legitimate rumor that people are trying to give weight to, and I think it's fucking great.
That just sounds dangerous.
If it's a troll, then it's fucking amazing. But if it's true, that's even more amazing.
I wonder if he paid the $199 for the DeLorean car.
I reckon,
because I did.
He's just got his
I
own
drive the
server,
DeLorean now.
and everybody lets him win. every time, it's like, you win again, Kim.
Yeah,
you're so good.
So Rocket League.
How good are you at Rocket League? Yeah.
About 4.
Yeah, out of 20. I was getting better. The first few games, I was pretty shithouse.
You're not gonna be able to touch Michael.
No one
Reset.
can. No one can.
That guy's just a wizard.
Yeah, he's the god of Rocket League. He might be Kim Jong-un's doubles partner in this game. Who knows?
He's like the understudy.
But once you start working out the dynamics and sort of the way to sort of jump your car and when to jump and working out the angles of which way the soccer ball is going to go, you start to feel a lot more rewarded as a player. Like at first, the first few games, I was just running around just idiotic, no idea, hopping, trying to hit this, hitting turbo, missing the ball. But then after about sort of 3 or 4 games, I'm starting to work out, okay, based off that trajectory, it's going to hit here. I jump, and then double jump, and you sort of angle your car, so you sort of tap with the back of your car towards the goal and all that.
So it's a physics game?
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a sport game, like it's racing soccer, obviously.
Well, it's kind of just like, the more you do something, you better you understand the physics of, how it works. Like even just playing, something like Super Mario, like when to jump and when to double jump. So it's about timing all that movement, and it just becomes muscle memory after a while. Same with Rocket League. You as you're flying through the air, it just appears like you're doing nothing, but you're like, I've got exactly 2 seconds before I need to hit the ball or whatever.
It's a fun game to play. Like it's difficult to master because all these mechanics are on a 3D plane as opposed to sort of a 2D side scroller.
Yeah.
But once you can start to roughly get a good idea of where this ball is going to go, irrespective of of the opposite team running into you or hitting the ball first, so there's always these variables. But it's a great game. Like Psyonix are just printing money with this thing. Like it made this studio just blow up.
It still baffles me that something like this kind of blew up. That someone just went, how about racing cars and
and now it's in the
soccer.
Olympics.
Well, it's gone. Apparently, it's gone heading in that way. And I've watched competitive play, and it's because I'm watching competitive, I'm watching some of the best of the best, and that's
so good.
That's the thing, and I'm like at first it doesn't seem challenging, but then I'm just kind of it seems repetitive. So
You reckon we'll see an IRL Rocket League in our time?
No.
Isn't that like the Thunderdome pretty much? If people are just going to be...
That's when I would be
unless you mean they're sitting there on the side with controls.
You mean like Destruction Derby but chuck a big soccer ball in the middle?
Oh, actually, I think we're probably closer to a drone soccer.
Yeah. We've got like drone laser tag and all
Well,
that
they
crap.
just had the first gigantic robot fight,
I heard about that.
Japan.
Everyone was hyping about that.
and America beat Japan.
Ooh.
And when I say giant robot, I'm talking like a proper mech warrior, like huge fucking thing.
We might just stop the podcast here and go watch that, but not really. I want to check that out after this.
And it's so
Remind
cool
me because I want to see this.
The American giant robot is painted with like stars and stripes, and it's got a big bald eagle head.
Oh, far. Like, it's, I somewhat respect that tackiness, but then I'm just kind of like, really?
And I bet his name's like the Patriot or some
So
bullshit.
does that mean the
take my
Japanese
guns.
one was the Japanese one like a Gundam or?
Yeah, like a samurai. Yeah.
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 And when he was losing, he just committed harikari at the end.
Harry
Harikari.
Curry. You mean seppuku?
Oh, it's known by both.
Harry Curry. I feel like you just made that up.
No.
All right. You know more than me.
Not really, but I know that one.
Well, I'm going to Japan, so hopefully I don't commit Harry Curry before
So
then.
therefore, what you just said is obsolete because he's going to
going
Japan.
there.
No, I mean I'm just saying like I will find out. I'll get off
You'll
the
vet
plane.
that
and
process for me.
Listen, tell me something. Is it seppuku or Harry Curry?
I'm pretty sure it's dual meaning because that's what I grew up knowing is it was harikari.
I only knew it as seppuku because of
And then,
Tenchu
yeah,
2.
seppuku.
I mean, it's
Seppuku. You put the emphasis on the poo.
You always gotta.
I know
Seppuku.
this is like really traumatizing, guys, but you are both right.
Ha! I knew it.
At least
I
I'm
knew
right.
watching Showdown in Little Tokyo way back when wouldn't let me down. Thanks, Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee.
Film. Absolute film. They show that at the Hayden Orpheum every now and then. With back-to-back with Big Trouble in Little China.
You're calling it Hari Curry, but it looks like it's more Hari Kiri.
Oh, well, I
That's-
come from the white trash
That's,
country.
That
Like,
sounds a lot better than Hurry Curry.
Hari Curry.
Here we go. Now we've got the fucking
I know
phonetic
I
maestro
know where
over
the
here.
where the hungry game is, Brenda.
Yeah.
But come on, man.
Oh.
Gets off the bloody mean wharfs of fucking bloody Port Botany.
Yep.
And comes over here and now he's trying to give me a linguistic
That's
lesson.
right, man. I wrestled a fish. He was this big.
For the listeners out there, it was about 2 inches.
That's what she said.
In the cold. In the
Okay,
cold.
so I've also, with thanks to Warner Brothers, been playing a bit of Shadow of War.
Oh.
Middle Earth, obviously.
Did Warner Brothers help me out with that too?
Nah.
Just you.
Just me.
Thanks
me.
for that, Warner Brothers.
Yeah. But if you were active on the socials.
Ah, here we
you know,
go.
You make
Here
them
we go.
relationships, mate. You can lead a horse to
I don't
water.
even have PS4, so
but
I
you
can't play it.
can't teach it to boil that
Is
water.
Shadow of War on the Xbox?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
well.
what I'm playing it on.
I'm angry again.
It's great.
Better than the first?
I haven't played far enough into it to give a divisive
Okay.
yes or no, or decisive yes or no.
What are some
sorry.
highlights?
They've really expanded on the Nemesis system. The fact that you sort of can recruit armies now and you
Wow.
go into big sieges where you're taking key areas of the map where you've got an army of orcs and Urukai and stuff coming in with you fighting against like Sauron's armies. Massive set pieces.
Do you need to play the first one?
No, like it gives a nice little recap at the very start of the game as what happens
Great.
in the events leading up to the Shadow of War. It's fantastic. It looks great.
I must admit, I saw like a little video that was going viral from, I'm not sure if it was from the previous one or the recent one, where someone was almost dead and then an orc just out of nowhere came and attacked the orc that was attacking him, and it was like some kind of like friendship thing, and then some people actually referenced it saying sometimes they help you, sometimes they're going to kill you later, like
Yeah, and I've encountered
cool.
that on
Yeah.
both sides where you can I can't remember the exact wording now, but it's sort of almost like breaking their spirit and controlling them. You use you use your abilities to sort of convert them to your cause.
Yeah.
And then you can either tell them to infiltrate that army, like still act as the right hand man of a key commander, and then when you go attack that key commander, you can tell your little spy that's under your control, okay, you go in first, shiv him, and then I'll jump in. He's already weakened, and but then you never know, if they're going to swerve you. So I like that real
didn't realize this
seesaw
game was
dynamic.
so complex.
It's great, and the combat
layers.
the combat is so fluid.
Yeah.
Just parrying on the fly, like pressing Y or triangle as it would be on the PlayStation to sort of parry an incoming attack, and then you can obviously counter attack, and the skill tree is really deep, so you can level up your way to suit your playstyle, whether you just want to be on the ground, sort of close quarters sword all the time, or you've got sort of like this sort of spirit bow you can use that you can sort of power up how much damage your arrows do, more arrows in your quiver, how's your stealth. You can, like, one of the best abilities to pick up early is you can have no sound on your footsteps. So you can just, instead of having to stealth around everywhere, you can just run everywhere, like kill that guy back in the shadows, keep running. But it's huge open world. And a lot of these commanders are, at the start of the game especially, a lot of them are higher level than you. So there is a higher risk of you dying. And when obviously you die, you get brought back because, you know, you've got some Tolkien spirit in you. And you know, you're questing to kill Sauron and get this ring back and everything like that. But when they kill you, they then get promoted and hyped up in their ranks. So say you could be a lowly grunt, but somehow he gets the last shot and you're dead, then he gets ranked, like bumped up to maybe a commander or a general. He gets like a new title. He levels up. His skills get better. He looks more boss.
That makes me so happy.
It's really, really cool that every enemy in this game can become somebody. Even if there are just little shit kicker archer guy, he can work his way up to
it's
like
a revolution,
one of
that one,
yeah.
It makes your death so much rewarding.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? I died, but you know, that guy got a promotion. He's probably built himself a nice little orc family now with a nice orc house, with a nice orc garage, with a nice orc car.
Yeah, and the good thing too is, like, after obviously you die, you can mark him as the target. So then you can go hunt that guy down that just killed you. And you'll meet them and there'll be an exchange and they'll be like, oh, you know, you're back again, right? I killed you. I'm going to kill you again. Or they remember.
Great voice work.
That's most of them sound like Australians and stuff, naturally. But there's a big...
Again with the Australians.
I know.
Bloody orcs.
But
we are orcs. We're a bit orky.
It's fantastic because some of the commanders and whatnot that you might kill, it comes up that you've killed them, but somehow they've survived, so they'll come back and either be missing an arm or a scar from where you've sliced them. And you know, then they're now known as like the Undying because they survived this big battle, and they connect the threads so well throughout the whole game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it feels like there's always purpose, no matter what you're doing in the game. Warner Brothers and the development team should be commended. I haven't played online, like the internet's been down here. There's a issue on the line or some bullshit, so I haven't been able to get online to even like look at all the loot crate dramas and the microtransaction dramas that are circulating around this game. But I've played for about maybe 5-6 hours and completely off the radar as far as microtransactions go, and I haven't once been playing this game where I felt like, oh, if only I could buy a benefit here to help me through or whatever else. So internet being the internet, as usual, they latch onto this stuff and just spit poison. But it's fantastic. I'm loving it. It's more of what everyone loved from the original, just in a prettier skin. The combat's nice. New abilities. The Nemesis system has been expanded upon. It's tops.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and I've been playing some WWE 2K18.
Is it good?
It is good.
Do they have the create your own superstar journey thing?
Yeah, I haven't dove down there
because I did the 17 one.
Because that's a deep tunnel to work your way through. Because I get into it. Like I go through every move, every customization option, and I'd love for us to sit down and create ourselves in it one day.
Oh yeah,
ourselves or just any character? Because I'm really good at making some fucked up characters.
Maybe any character. maybe we all make our own like character, irrespective if it's ourselves or whoever we want. And then we'll do like
tag team.
We could do a stream
or a fatal 4-way. We'll do a fatal 4-way in like a Hell in a Cell.
I'm into it.
But it's great. It looks good. It plays well. It's still got that more arcadey move set and control style as opposed to the wrestling games of yesteryear where you had to hold a button and do directional combinations to do a certain move.
I do like that though.
It's nice, but it's a bit more rigid.
I had the timing down pat,
But I was running around in it I've played for about probably 2.5 hours on it. Did a couple, like I did a Hell in a Cell, did a Extreme Rules match. And stuff, and I will admit I didn't do the tutorial. So the first match I played, I got fucking walloped because I couldn't remember the controls. But it looks great. It's more of that big machismo wrestling stuff that everyone loves. It's graphically, it's sweet. The entrances are awesome.
Yeah,
it's like watching the wrestling, but you're obviously playing it as well. Like it's so well done.
I uploaded my own music.
Yeah, and you can upload scans of your face to the wrestlers.
No.
So I'm excited
No.
to dive into the creator wrestler mode in it because that's where I've had most of the fun. Bring back old Brent Van Dam from the CWF days. You know, see if he can work his way up to
watch out for Turbo.
WWE champion. So yeah, so 2K have done fantastic with it. It's more of the same. If you've loved 17, 16, 15, you know, the whole gamut of these games, if you've loved them, you'll love this. It's more of the good stuff. The roster is fucking huge. I think it's about 80, maybe 90 wrestlers.
Jeez.
How many like past wrestlers have they already released? Yeah,
a lot. A lot of them are locked in this, and I don't know if they're unlocked in the story through play or if it's via DLC packs.
Yep.
But there was all the old wrestlers of yesteryear, like Stone Cold, The Rock, Ricky Steamboat,
yesteryears now.
Lex Luger, you know, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, all the guys from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. They were all locked. I don't know if that's via story you unlock them or via certain matches you have to do. Because I was just mucking around an exhibition. I just tried a heap of exhibition matches. So I don't know, but the roster's huge. It was nice to see a couple of Aussie wrestlers on there too. A couple of the girls from NXT are in there.
Nice.
Peyton Royce and Billy Kay are in there. As well as I think TM21, I think is what TM something. TM number at the end. There's a Aussie tag team. They're on there too, which is cool. So yeah, it's great. Excited for that. I've got the Fractured Butthole there as well, but I haven't found time to
I've
play
heard
it.
so many amazing things about it. Yeah,
It's getting very well reviewed, and I played it a bit at E3 and loved it. So
yeah, I'm gonna be jumping on
wait.
that for sure.
I've watched some gameplay of it, and there are so many risky things in there.
The
that
thing
I'm just
I
like, holy crap.
appreciate about that game is that Trey Parker is such a board game RPG game fiend. He went on an interview with the Nerdist and talked a lot about what he does in his spare time, and he literally says that if he's not at South Park, he's at home with his wife and
rolling
friends.
in a big bucket of money.
No, playing role-playing games like D&D, and he plays 2 D&D campaigns, and so he's right in the thick of how this game should work, and he's obviously applied all of that knowledge to Fractured But Whole, and I'm really
Stick of Truth was brilliant.
yeah.
It really was.
And they've expanded on that in every way.
Yeah.
The combat's nice. I like that there's sort of a tile system in there now.
Yeah.
Movement's great. The storyline, it's more of that South Park goodness, and the fact that it just plays on the whole DC Marvel, you know,
There's
rivalry.
so many digs in there as well.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing that I I remembered after watching some gameplay of this is that was the best thing about these South Park games is that it's actually the background characters or the little comments that they make and like, oh my God, like they've done so well, so much attention to detail as well, like just little nods. Love it.
And I'm happy to see it's reviewing well. Obviously, there was a lot of drama when it was meant to be released, you know, Christmas last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just fell off the radar for quite some time. And yeah, it's come out. It's doing well.
Great.
Selling well, from what I hear as well.
Yeah.
I said well a lot then, but
Well.
He does say well a lot.
but yeah, I can't wait to play some of that and also play some more Golf Story.
Oh, yes.
I've got that on the Switch.
Very jealous. I really, really want to play that.
And who would have thought an RPG about becoming the best golfer in the land would be good?
Australian made, isn't that game? Isn't it?
I think it is. Don't quote me verbatim, but I'm pretty confident it is.
Pretty sure it's a Queensland studio, but I could be wrong. I just
Can we
remember
vet
hearing
that?
that somewhere.
Can we vet that? I'm curious.
Let's pop that up there.
Tell us about it.
But it's beautiful. Like it's that sort of old timey, sort of 16-bit graphic style, where
like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, where you wanna be the very best golfer and
like
but
no one ever was.
It sort of somehow weaves in RPG into a golf game. Like that in itself, like you put those two genres together and you go,
Oh,
this
but
is going to
if
be
you think about it, if
gross.
you take the Pokemon storyline and then just apply that to anything, like
Yeah, but-
it'll work. Like I
but
want to be
catching-
the world's best chef, and it's like okay,
But catching exotic creatures from all over the land as opposed
and
to
playing golf, like,
hitting a golf ball
but
down
I mean
a fairway.
that's anime though. I mean, look at the way that they do anime, where it's like Prince of Tennis. Prince of Tennis is like Gundams with tennis. So
yeah,
it's like,
but you don't like watching an anime or reading a manga. You don't have to think too much. Where in a game,
Yeah.
you know, you're controlling this character. When it's done for you, I think in an anime format or a manga format, it's more accessible because you can sort of be doing something at the same time. You don't have to be giving it complete attention. But with an RPG, typically you're stressing and thinking about every decision. That's going to like shape the way your character's perceived, how you're going to like go about the game. Like RPGs really draw me in. And this,
but they're a bit hit and miss, aren't they?
Pleasant surprise, yeah.
They either get you in the whole way or they don't get you in at all.
Exactly. Yeah. They're very, it's a very divided genre. I think you don't play like I personally, if I'm playing an RPG or a massive big open world game, I'm either all in or I'm going to put it down 5 hours in or something.
We need a 8-bit Hungry Gamers RPG about being the world's best podcasters.
Golf Story is from Australia.
Yeah, but it's fantastic.
Pretty sure Sam said that on the other episode. That's why I'm remembering it.
Michael Googley. Just had to check it out. That's all.
That's it.
Yeah. But it's great.
I really want to play that.
It's great. The Switch, I harp on it.
I really want
lot.
one so bad.
I love my Switch. There's so many titles. Goddamn, Super Mario Odyssey drops in 5 days.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. It's been a bumper year for Nintendo, and it's such a return to form
Skyrim's
for
almost
them.
out.
Yeah, Skyrim. Doom comes out as well on the damn
I really
Switch.
want a Switch so bad.
You need to get one.
Well, I'm just going to wait till Christmas and then give myself a Christmas present.
Are we bringing our Switches to PAX?
Yeah.
All right.
You'd want to.
We're going to be playing some stuff.
All right.
Jealous.
Some stuff.
Looking forward to the stuff.
Maybe a couple of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tourneys.
Oh, shit.
Some ARMS tourneys, maybe some Splatoon. Trying to think of other multiplayer games I've got on there. Could play some NBA.
Some Just Dance.
NBA Playground. Ugh, I'm so bad at dancing games.
Surprisingly, I'm pretty damn good.
You got the rhythm. But yeah, so I've been playing a ton. Riverdale's back. Yeehaw. Just watched the second episode of Riverdale last night. Second season's just getting a bit out of control for me. It's going too crazy. Don't want to dive into spoilers, but this balaclava man, like, it's simmer down with this guy. He's everywhere.
So is Riverdale just Scooby-Doo or?
No,
Archie.
It's Archie.
It's based off the Archie comics.
No, sorry. I mean,
how the story's going.
Oh, right.
This second season's feeling.
I would have
like
gotten
that.
away with it if it wasn't for you damn kids.
Yeah.
Remember the corn episode and stuff? Sorry.
That was so good. Who was the Scooby-Doo in that again? Like, what was the animal they had?
Timmy?
No, like corn.
Oh no, it was some magical creature, wasn't it? It was some weird,
Yeah.
Yeah. And
now I need to go back and watch that.
And now, like, Head's a minister, right? I'm pretty sure one of them, like, found God and denounced corn. And
Wasn't
I think
Head found God?
Yeah.
Oh, from Corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian.
Monkey did something.
Yeah. Fieldy's still hanging out, being Fieldy.
God, I'm trying to remember all their names.
I think then it was just David and Jonathan.
Yeah, I know. It's just David on drums.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Great band, though. I love that Follow the Leader album so much.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Yeah. And issues after that, but after that it sort of fell down a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't mind the Untouchables.
Yeah.
High school.
Anyway, let's get this haunted ghost train back on the tracks and dive into some Halloween questions that Miss Ali Heartless has put together for today.
Spooky. So we have done this before. We have answered some spooky questions. So if any of them are repetition, I do apologize, but I think I veered away from it a little bit. So first question is, what non-mainstream / super recognized video game character would you dress up as for Halloween?
So you're saying almost like a cult classic sort of character?
Yeah, and let's not go down the horror route. Let's go somewhere
anything.
Just anything. But something unusual, something a bit different. Don't do your Marios and your Peaches and such.
Yeah.
Is there a character in the game that you've really wanted to dress up as? Let's just say if, reasonable amount of funds. But yeah, which one would you want to dress up as?
I'm just thinking.
I can't remember his name, but the guy from DuckTales, the cyber cop with the wheel legs.
How are you going to manage that? Are you going to be on a unicycle?
You said money was no object.
Yeah, you said money doesn't matter.
Money was no object, and I was about to I'm asking, how would that work?
I don't know.
Imagine going around a party on a wheel.
You know that guy?
Yeah, I know
his name.
Yeah.
Cyber Duck, I don't even know. But he was like RoboCop.
Cyber Duck with a cyber
Duck
taco.
with what?
Okay, that's weird.
But yeah, he immediately comes to mind, like RoboCop Duck wheel legs, man.
Yep. We all know who you're referring to.
I gotta find his name.
I'm just trying to think who would be good for me to do. I think I would look good as...
I love that you went the Vane route.
Well, it's all about that, isn't it? But everything I think of is too mainstream.
Gizmo Duck.
You can.
Maybe Shadow Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
What-
From the 64 game Shadow Man.
What about it? Well, why does that
Oh,
appeal?
because he's like...
He was the voodoo guy, right?
Yeah, he's like a voodoo warlock, but kind of looks like Vin Diesel, but he's got like a glowing chest.
Shadow Man was a great game. Like
Yeah,
cruising
Shadow Man.
through old Haiti or wherever the hell they based that game.
That is a fucking mad game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe Shadow Man. I don't know, maybe Mega Man. I'd do a nice Mega Man.
Man
if I
would be
could.
good.
Yeah.
I like the amount of effort that would go into Mega Man.
Yeah.
I personally, for like the longest time, have always wanted to dress up as Infested Kerrigan from StarCraft.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
that would be so Alley Hart.
I have loved that character for like the longest time. She's so like, even when she wasn't infested, she was sassy and badass sniper, and then she got turned to Infested Kerrigan. She became the Queen of Zergs. I'm just like, oh
Yeah. Queen of Blades, yo.
yeah, she's like absolutely like badass. So that was always mine. So
That's a perfect character model in that game, like, and in all the art and everything. Like, it's so well done.
yeah,
I like that she's still got those humanoid elements, yet all the Zergs sort of starting to splice through, and just like how her hair's done.
Yeah.
And the big sort of pincers off her back.
I know, and like I kind of always link that also to my fascination with predators as well.
Yeah,
So-
similar hairstyle.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
very
they come
similar.
from the same bloodlines.
Very similar. So that was always mine. So, and then although I kind of cheated, she's still kind of semi scary. But you know,
Yeah.
oh well. Next question. Are we ready for next question?
Very ready.
Okay. All right. So now I'm asking about things in video games that spooked you that shouldn't. So scary games always have their scariness, but then there's always those little things in video games that like did scare you that it's not necessarily meant to have been a scare. So one I could reference is the Sonic music I've always said is scary when you're underwater. That
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. I don't know how many times it's given me heart palpitations.
I used to get scared in the dungeons in Pokemon because I couldn't get out.
Yeah, that
And you're getting like random battles all the goddamn time.
I had to like turn it off because I would be getting like
claustrophobic.
claustrophobic.
Yeah, that would happen to me
I
constantly.
would buy like 16 escape ropes and just use them all the time. And then you get out of the dungeon and you literally feel like, oh god, I feel so much
Yeah.
better now.
Fuck
Yeah.
you, Zubats. 7 million of them hitting you all the time.
Yeah.
But that, like, they have that sort of stuff in like, or for some reason, those nice farming games that I enjoy, like your Harvest Moons and like even Stardew Valley. I'm pretty certain that you have to go into caves in there, and then you just kind of like, I need to get out.
That was yeah.
I just as a recent one that comes to mind, playing Persona 5.
Oh yeah, all the
Whether
ranky
it be
stuff,
down in the in the subway system,
Mm-hmm.
but also just knowing that you've got that calendar ticking down to final day. You need to take down the bad guy or do all the research, do everything by that certain day. When games give you a fixed time period to do what you're meant to do, same as like thinking back to Dead Rising, where you had certain amount of days to sort of exit the mall, save everybody you can and whatnot, knowing that you only had limited space or time to try and do all the quests and the storyline, and knowing that it's over after that or you fail, that really, really puts me on edge. Knowing I can't just free roam and do whatever willy-nilly
Yeah.
and come back to it later. Knowing that every move I make cuts out a certain amount of time in-game and in real life.
Yeah.
That gets to me. That freaks me out a little bit sometimes.
So it seems like, most of the times when we link scary things, it's still like anxiety driven based. Like, because I know that there would be certain
true.
games out there where it would be like a character's coming after you,
yeah.
but they're coming from random locations.
Yeah.
Like the Berserkers
Oh, yeah.
from Gears of War.
Yeah.
Oh man, they scared the crap out of me. And
Yeah,
it's-
Gears of War is a pretty scary game. Like,
well, it's not really. Oh, I guess it had a level of like horror, gore.
my heart
kind of
rate went up a
element.
few times.
One that I still love and still get scared from is in Resident Evil 3 with the Nemesis. because you can't kill the bloke until obviously the very end of the game. Spoilers.
Yeah.
But you don't know where he's coming from, and you can down him temporarily to keep running. But you just hear the footsteps and the thuds, and he's always like going stars because he's out obviously to kill the stars team. And that's intense. That was one of those real first fight or flight games, obviously like that Outlast and Soma and all these sort of franchises are doing now. And playing that when I would have been, I don't know, obviously under 15, let's say early teens. Playing that was intense. Very, very high heart rate, bloody edge of your seat, scared to move forward, constantly having to move forward knowing that you got this big giant guy with a fucking rocket launcher on his back coming after you. I love that.
See, that's what I define as a successful horror game is when you're too scared to even move forward. Like
fear.
Oh, yeah, and like the Grudge game was like that for me as well. Like I'm like, I just don't want to try this. I'm willing to put my hat into the ring and say no.
Same as Alien Isolation. I really want... Have you played it?
No,
you haven't yet. I really want you to play it because
it.
you're like me. You love that universe.
Yeah.
And that game is one of the truest interpretations of that universe in existence.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think that's why I can't play it because I just don't want to be trapped in that environment.
Next question.
All right. What established non-horror franchise would you like to see a horror spin-off? So it's not typically a horror game, but like something, so maybe the elements in it like kind of caught you off guard and you're like, oh, now if you put that into a horror environment, that would scare the crap out of me.
I'm thinking like I guess there is some scary elements that it lends itself to already, but anything from the Elder Scrolls universe, like a big RPG, like whether it be Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, where it is more dark tonally. Obviously, they dive into it with werewolves and vampires and shit, but you'd never really get scared. But I think if they had that element to it, especially if there was more darkness, like maybe I don't know, maybe the sun got taken away or some shit, I don't know. And so you're constantly running around in the dark, jump scares. All the dungeon crawling and stuff in that would have a bit more of a scary feel to it. I don't know if maybe they chuck like a permadeath element on it as well. I don't know. I don't know how hardcore you want to go with it, but I think that'd be great because you could make your character as you want, and you've got to try and traverse these lands.
So it's like nighttime is nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
where you need a torch.
God, no.
You need those torches all the time. Instead of, in most games when it's nighttime, you can still see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty well pitch black without a torch. Like imagine traversing those hillsides or those mountains or those dungeons in the dark where you've got to edge forward. And when you're a low-level gimp with a shitty sword...
Everything already, like, in that game just appears out of nowhere and scares the shit out of you. If you're in blind darkness with just a shitty torch with a small circumference of light and something just comes out, oh, no. Yeah.
I think
die.
that, like, it'd be tense,
game and real life.
But it'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I think I would go the other way, like something like Animal Crossing or Cooking Mama, where just horror theme because that'd be like super cute.
Well, what kind of element? Like just like
cooking brains and
cooking brains and like eat hearts and stuff like that. But you'd actually have to like if you was Cooking Mama, like maybe it could be like Werewolf Mama, where you have to like hunt down the kill.
Vampire Daddy, and they do like Dream Daddy.
Another porno.
Like hunt down your kill and kill them, and then cook them for the other vampires.
Pleased, Mama.
I have come to suck your dick.
Oh gosh.
Anyway,
Vampire Daddies.
Yeah. See that in a movie near you. Okay, next one is...
Hang on, you didn't say a game.
Yeah.
Only because, like, I feel like that's when we were talking before, where everything kind of borderlines the anxiety levels. So I hate anything that's in confined spaces. So I'm trying to think, like, what kind of games that already stick you in a confined space, but isn't scary.
Like Donkey Kong, I don't know.
Oh, God. Like, scary Donkey Kong. Like, okay, so someone did that Sonic game, and is it called Sonic.exe, where it's essentially, like... It's Sonic, but it's like horror. Like you always run into a dead Sonic at the end. Like this bunch of So no, it's out there. Like someone's actually done it. There's a very dark side of the internet that I venture to every now and then, but yeah. So like it's something simple that like something innocent but something confined is usually what scares me. So
nice.
Yeah. pretty much didn't really have an answer for it. Thanks for pointing out. If you could interview a character from the horror genre, doesn't necessarily have to be games, could be movie. I might open this up for that one. Who would you interview?
Stephen King.
Oh, so you went straight for a writer.
Yeah, just because I'd love to know how his mind works, how he manages to come up with new ideas after 30 years, maybe more, maybe 40 years. I can't remember when his first first book was helmed. I'd like to see how, like, just feel him out as a person, where he's on the not on the spectrum, but just, I guess, see how quote unquote normal he is. You know, to come up with these ideas and these dark concepts. And
so, would you interview one of his characters? Like, which one of his characters that he's come up with would you want to interview?
Randall Flagg, who I guess is one of the characters that arcs through most of the King universe. Mm-hmm. The Man in Black from Dark Tower. He's also the guy from The Stand. He's mentioned in Salem's Lot. He's mentioned in It. He's mentioned in Pet Sematary and The Shining. I like that he's somehow made this interlocking universe through all these unique IPs that you wouldn't think could exist. You know, like demonic clowns, haunted mansions, parallel sci-fi western shooters, yet they all somehow mesh.
Yeah.
But yeah, Randall Flagg is the constant. He's almost the constant antagonist through a lot of these universes.
Yeah.
So maybe talking to him.
That makes sense. That'd be a long interview.
Yeah.
I'd say probably H.P. Lovecraft, just because.
Oh, you're going down that route.
Yeah, like I feel like he's just like
that sexy gothic romance horror.
So out there, you know. It's a bit of like, it's almost like horror on Broadway is what I feel like his genre is. So I just want to know, like, because no one, in my opinion, has been able to recreate that level of weirdness. Especially in the horror genre. So I'd just like to hear what he has to say.
Have you watched Penny Dreadful yet?
The series?
Yeah. Because you need to. Because it's got a lot of those...
Didn't they...
three seasons. It got canned, sadly.
Yeah, so did it get rebooted or something? No. Okay.
Because it ties into that era.
Okay.
Where it delves into that Lovecraftian style and it weaves in the classic monsters and it's...
Cthulhu?
No Cthulhu. But they weave in some of the other guys, like they do, like obviously they touch on the vampires and the werewolves and Dr. Frankenstein and God, his name escapes me now. The guy that's sort of immortal and ageless, and he's got the painting of himself decrepit, locked away. And
Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray, he's in there, and just the way it's shot and it's scripted. Eva Green is a fucking goddess in this show. It's probably her best work to date. She just
300?
lends herself. No, better. I think you'd like it if you love that kind of vibe. And they play on some of that Broadway stuff where some of these people go and watch some of these. A Penny Dreadful back in the day was you pay a penny and you go watch one of these dreadful plays. That's what it's based off. You'd go and pay a penny, and it was horror themed Broadway. And it plays on that. It's really, really good. It's one of my favorite shows.
Actually, just thinking about that, I was going to say, so maybe H.P. Lovecraft or Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Going deep now.
Because, then that's some... I remember when I was in Texas, I was walking around Austin, and it was, typically like 45 degrees. It was mental.
Stepping over a few passed out college students in the main street.
Sounds about right.
And my wife and I were walking around, and we stumbled across this horror wax museum. And we were just like, all right, it's like $2 entry. So we went in and we learnt about the entire history of horror cinema from the very, very first horror movie up until today's horror movies. And geez, it was interesting. Like, holy crap, the stuff they used to do in the horror movies to get that desired effect, like the amount of shit that Boris Karloff had to go through to be the Mummy is no actor would put up. Like, I think it was like 16 hours of makeup, and then he would just have to leave it on, and he would just be drenched in sweat and constantly dehydrated. And like the sacrifices that those filmmakers had to make something that they're super passionate about, which at the time was like a very taboo subject. And it's like, without them, we wouldn't have any of this horror genre. We wouldn't have horror video games. It would just, I think I would like to go back and talk to them just to see, what it's like to be someone at a time where what you're thinking about is taboo, but you're
yeah.
pushing to make it mainstream. So
I think
maybe
you
him.
should check out Penny Dreadful because they play a lot on that taboo.
Okay.
And also, it's a vampire film the name escapes me. It's got John Malkovich in it, and Willem Dafoe plays, the original Nosferatu film from the 1920s.
Yeah.
He plays that vampire in it, and they go film this vampire film, but they don't know he's actually a vampire in real life.
Oh.
But it ties into a lot of those pains with shooting this kind of genre back in those days, and almost the underground silence and sort of hushness you need to have it because it is so controversial.
Yeah.
And it's great, and it's shot, and it sort of harkens back to yesteryear in the 20s. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, John Malkovich is in it, and Willem Dafoe plays Nosferatu. It's fucking so good.
Very good.
So good.
Good question.
Wow.
What about
You guys actually really went down a very insightful and educational route.
Well,
Because
because
I said characters, and you guys actually chose creators. So
well,
I'm just
I think it's
wow.
because we're both such horror nerds.
No, and it's really cool. Because I was just because with me, I went down the route of wanting to understand what scares me the most, and through most horror movies don't really scare me, but the one that has scared me the most was The Ring.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should speak to Koji, who actually wrote The Ring, or if I should actually speak to.
And what scares you about it? The fact that something that seems unreal can become real.
It's the video. I think the video was the main thing that actually terrified me, and there's so many elements of it, like that static noise.
Yeah.
Terrifies the shit out of me whenever I hear it, in day to day, especially when it's nighttime. So, but also the character, the woe of the character, and this was the first time when I kind of realized, not Children of the Corn, but these
The kids
little
can be scary.
Kids can be scary.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I started going down that whirlwind of Japanese horror. So, The Grudge. There was a Dark Water, I think is another one where there's a kid in it. So, and that's when I started realizing, I'm like, is it kids that are scary? Is it that the whole thing of lost innocence and that terrifies me? So I'd like to know what that connection is and why that sticks with me so much.
The Village was the first horror film that got me with kids, and they were all silvery grey hair, bright yellow eyes.
Oh, see, I thought
The Shyamalan film?
yeah, I was
No,
thinking
different one
Shyamalan. I'm like,
again.
what?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because I like that movie. Everybody hates it, but I like it.
I don't mind it. Shyamalan's just overhyped.
No.
Since he's just riding off the coattails of the Sixth
I've never
Sense
seen it,
to
but I
this
know the
day.
twist.
No, he's great.
You were happy with that twist? Because I've
Yeah.
never seen the movie, but once
I'm
I heard
happy
what the
with
twist was,
everything.
I'm like, that would
happy
just
with
put
everything
the
he
shit out
does.
of me.
Yeah.
He's great. He's fantastic.
I can't remember.
It's cool to hate him, so...
No, it's not. I'll disconnect from
He made some
sort
good
of
ones.
mainstream love or hate and just base
Love
it
the
off my
Village
opinions.
and Signs. I fucking love Signs.
Signs
Oh,
was
see, it
good.
seems like you like the ones that are really offbeat that I haven't even attempted yet. But it's Shyamalan, right?
Yeah.
Unbreakable, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Unbreakable. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Oh,
Signs
I
was
liked it.
okay. I can't remember what it was called now, but it was the film in the elevator.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, The Devil.
The Devil? Was it The Devil?
I think it was called Devil or The Devil or something
I
like
didn't see
that.
I didn't mind that.
I actually really liked
Yeah.
it. I really,
but I
really
think that's
liked
the
it.
last one I actually really enjoyed.
It's got that new one, The Lady in the Water. I haven't seen
I didn't
it.
see that one,
And
but I
Split.
didn't realize
I
that
watched
was horror.
Split, and that was a bit of a turd.
Oh, that was him, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a turd.
I didn't mind it, but I felt like the payoff wasn't great.
Nah. And that's the problem with these films. You know there's going to be a twist or a big payoff, and they just fall flat for the most part for me.
But see, I think that's why I love the Saw series, is because, well, at the start, there was a lot of good twists in it. But, it kind of fell off at
And
the
then
end.
it's back
didn't
to
it?
the well, well, now there's a fucking movie out called Jigsaw. It's either out this week. I think it's out in
No,
2
it's
weeks.
like
but
at the end of the month.
we got offered to go to the screening of it on Monday week. The Monday we get back from PAX.
And, I love the series, and I usually defend it. I agree that maybe towards the end it kind of fell off, but I still enjoy them. I don't care what people say. I still actually enjoy all the Saw movies, but
The first couple were fucking groundbreaking.
exactly.
For the genre.
So many people just cut it off. They say, "Oh, the first one was good, and that's it." I'm like, no, 2 and 3 were pretty good, but
Good
yeah.
twists.
Yeah, good twists. I love
Good
it.
creative deaths. I love a good creative death in a horror movie.
Me too.
Final Destination does it great.
Oh, but Final Destination puts too many like semi-real worldly deaths as well in there that kind of like
Yeah, you
You'll
get
be
scared to
driving
be on
behind
the road.
a truck anytime soon.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you see fireworks and
I'm just never leaving my house. Actually, no, that's probably not safe either. I'm just going to go live in a hole somewhere.
I swear to God though, every time I'm about to fly, Final Destination's on the TV. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Devon Sauer, no!
No, Casper.
Idle Hands.
Oh
Brilliant
yeah,
film.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Curbs, you got a couple of questions you want to throw our way?
They're more sort of trivia questions, but if I was going to keep in the theme, if you could personally helm to remake a horror movie, what would it be?
Into a movie or like into a game or whatever medium I'd like?
Yeah, we can go with that. Any medium you like, but you're the head person, so it's all your creation.
Wow. Shit. It's hard because there's so much
So
stuff
many that you would want to do.
that I love from the 80s and the 90s that I still think are perfect.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think back to like The Howling, and I think back to the Friday the 13th stuff, the Nightmare on Elm Street
I don't
stuff.
think you can touch that
I
stuff.
think back to The Thing, which is still probably one of the greatest horror movies / sci-fi
100% agree.
movies of all time. And even I actually liked the
They had a
one they did a
PS2
few
game.
years ago. Yeah, they did. And it's fucking great.
I should play that.
Something I'd like to do. See, I would say Evil Dead, but it just got the reboot a couple of years ago, and it was well done too.
Evil Dead game, though.
Yeah, they did Evil Dead: A Fistful of Boomstick, and it was side scroller.
Yeah, no.
Just a
You
lot
don't
of
want
shooting.
that. You want a third person horror.
Damn.
What about you?
Well, I would pick up The Mist, and because
yeah.
that had potential, but it really fucking shot itself in the foot in the end, or the head. But I feel like it had a lot of potential, so it could be either rehashed as a movie again and attempted again, or it could be a game where you are like literally trying to avoid shit, but you have to go into the mist.
The game would feel like Alan Wake, I think.
Yeah, actually, that's a very, very good point. Yeah.
Have you watched any of the TV series of The Mist? I haven't watched an
No,
episode yet.
no,
I've
no.
heard it's okay.
It's not very popular. I don't think it's that great.
Jesus, this is hard. Maybe if we're just going to stick down the King route, Pet Sematary, the first one, that movie fucked me for years. Years. I had nightmares. Hellraiser as a game would be insane.
You know-
You trying to escape hell and all the Deadites and
Or
Pinhead and
remember
all
that
those
movie,
guys.
The Cell?
Yeah, with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. That is a game.
See, I always get The Cell and Cell mixed up.
Oh, yeah.
Cell's a good film as well.
Yeah, the one where they're in that big Rubik's Cube thing.
The Cell
Fucking
with
love
Jennifer
that.
Lopez. Because there's some messed up imagery in that movie.
The horse sticks
Yeah.
with me. I don't know why that one.
Yeah.
That
Very
certain
stark,
imagery.
yeah.
But you know what? And I hate going back to The Ring. But like there's a scene in is it The Grudge? Actually, I think it's in The Grudge where someone's looking at the security camera. So Five Nights at Freddy's, we gave that a go and failed miserably. So maybe combining Five Nights at Freddy's and The Grudge or The Ring, where you have to like monitor a space, but then that character is coming for even thinking about it now, making me
Just hearing that.
maybe that would be it.
I can't do the noise.
Hang
I
on.
can't do it at all. You're pretty. Fuck that little. I'd punch that boy in the face if I saw him in real life. Don't even care.
Somebody get this kid a Strepsil.
Lost it. Oh man.
Another one I could think, and it'd probably almost be like Event Horizon, is Dead Space. Make that into a film.
Event Horizon, the game. That'd be sick.
Which is sort of Dead Space,
Yeah,
I guess
sort
you
of
could
is
say.
Dead Space,
Oh, I
yeah.
can't wait to go to the bonus stage of
Hey,
the space orgy.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Visceral, though.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
quite
So, you got another question you want to throw?
If you had to battle one classic horror villain, who would you battle?
As in someone that, like, how are we going to measure this
Like,
off? Like
the
scariest?
werewolf, Dracula, the Mummy.
Oh, we're going token,
Just anything.
Or from games too?
Yeah, from games too. Anyone, but you have to battle them, and you get one weapon. One.
Ooh. The weapon, I'm going to say I want Ash's chainsaw arm from Evil Dead. Give me
Nice.
that. I want to get up and close in that viscera and just cutting. And the villain, I would like to fight the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters
That's
with
a
that
good one.
chainsaw and cut him up and then just eat him gradually over time.
That's good.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a really rewarding because I'm trying to figure out who I want to choose because I want to know what is like the most rewarding outcome from it. Really,
Yeah.
What about Pyramid Head? Would you fight him?
Whoa.
no, I would be too scared.
Rip your skin off. Just rip your skin off, throw it on the wall.
No, I'd like to like face like old school Doom monster, like the final boss.
Oh, that big eye. Or
Yeah.
whatever it is, yeah.
No, the big
Yeah,
like-
the big Minotaur dude.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So but I like that's only because like I feel like the connection of that game of trying to complete that at such a young age and like maybe
Oh,
that
yeah.
being the most rewarding like experience. And the face in the bottom, just like
Yeah.
looking left and right.
About you, Curbs?
Yeah, I think maybe Dracula, because I think that'd be pretty awesome.
What are you going to fight him with?
A shield.
Okay.
Hello, are you Captain America?
Because I would be reflecting the daylight.
Oh, so you're going like Medusa route with a mirror.
So it's like a stainless steel shield. Obviously,
Yeah.
if it's black, it wouldn't work too well.
Yeah. Or just maybe my watch that I had in year 7. I used to get
Ooh,
a lot of people in the eyes with
so
that
annoying. You're
daylight.
sitting on the bus and you're like, ugh.
Oh.
Or when you're driving and someone's
Kerbo.
got
Yeah.
their watch going.
Like, do you want me to crash? 'Cause I'll crash.
Oh, come on, you can't help it. My
Yeah, I know.
fucking phone screen gets in people's eyes sometimes.
Yeah.
My bad.
Other baddies that I'd like to face now. I'm having to think of who else.
I mean, if we want to go down, like, I like the idea of going down the token route of your old school, like, monsters. So
Like a
your-
Demogorgon.
I
Which
would.
one's that again?
That's
Stranger
from
Things.
Stranger Things.
Oh.
The old plant face. I'd fight the Wolfman,
Ooh.
Okay.
and obviously they're weak to silver.
Schmackos.
Yeah, a couple of rawhide bones to
No, just
distract him.
show him a worming tablet. He'll run away.
I like that.
How
That's
did
nice.
they know? How did they know?
I'm trying to think of something that's silver that I could fight him with. Maybe the Silver Surfer's surfboard.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. Nice.
Mm.
Or just like a silver sword.
Nah, that's taking an easy route. I'd be the Silver Surfer fighting the Wolfman.
Mad.
I'll fight the Invisible Man with talcum powder.
Hey. Or just piss on him. Throw
Nice.
poo at him.
Yeah. Oh, man, that sucks.
Get some Johnson & Johnson.
Maybe the Mummy just with a big bucket of water, because you know those wraps would sort of stiffen up. He wouldn't be as flexible.
What if he's got them waterproof elastoplast numbers?
See, I'm thinking because it's gone back a ways.
You
They
reckon he's
didn't
got
have the
the
good
OG?
elastoplast. They just had that shitty bandage from, I don't know.
I mean, if it was like straight up cotton, right?
Yeah,
So just
Set him
all
on
you,
fire.
yeah, all you need is like some WD-40 and a match
yeah.
or a lighter.
Little flamethrower.
Yeah.
Who else? Frankenstein's monster, I feel for him because he was made that way and then he was just turned into an immediate outcast. It's
Well-
not his fault.
That's why it's kind of like my biography. It's good.
Oh, you're Frankenstein's monster.
I am Frankenstein's monster.
Side note,
He's alive.
I actually went to Frankenstein's castle, which was the basis for the work for Mary Shelley for Frankenstein. It's in Germany.
Yeah?
It's cool going there. That was fun. Yeah. Any other questions?
Do they have like a torture room and...
No, it was just an old castle. Just old stoneworks.
Hmm.
But it's still cool.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably what I can think of. You got any other questions? Any
I was just
hypothetical scenarios?
back to kind of like your question, relaying the fact of like being you yourself in a horror environment. Do you honestly believe what's your probability of surviving?
Oh, not very good. I can't run. I can barely walk. Anything uphill is a struggle immediately. I constantly need attention and food. And if anything is too hard, I will not do it. I will rather die.
Yeah, see, I think mine's going to be conflicting issues where people like dealing with people.
Your horror movie is having to talk
Having
to
to
random
socialise.
strangers. Oh.
Oh, yeah. That
Now
was,
your horror movie is, why don't we go around the room and introduce ourselves? Oh. Good stuff.
Oh, my horror movie is going to an event. Yeah.
Here comes Pax.
Here comes Pax. Pax the horror
Oh,
movie.
be gentle. Be gentle.
It's all right. You can get these things now. Something that you might really want for next time you travel.
Valium.
It's called a mind fold. You seen that?
No.
So a mind fold is like a ski mask, but it's very sort of minimalist, and it's got cushioning around your face, and it's just the perfect tint that you can see out, but no light gets in. And it's for when you're sleeping, but it's also people wear them that don't want to deal with like social stuff because it doesn't mess up your eye makeup. It's completely like there's no light getting in, and it's just the right amount of tint so that you can see. But if you want to sleep, you get perfect.
You know what?
sleep.
I've actually got this really good contraption that's good at letting like the outside world know that I don't want to talk to them. The Audio Technica headphones.
Oh yeah.
And when you have them on, people know just to not even bother with you. You
I had somebody like motion me to take off my Audio Technicas today so they could ask me for $1.
What?
And
What a fucking asshole.
And I got really upset because it was in the train, and because I had loud death metal playing, I was just immediately like, no! Put them back
I was
on.
hoping you'd do the old thing like when like an older relative or a friend would do, and they'd be like, hey, I've got something for you, and they'd sort of reach into their pocket and then they'd pull out their middle finger.
Oh, do the circle.
Oh, and then punch him. Yeah.
when did that become a thing? Because I felt like that's
Malcolm in the Middle started it, and everybody doesn't believe me, but literally Malcolm in the Middle started that
No
whole fucking
way.
thing.
Well,
I ain't
That's-
giving no respect to
stand
fucking
by
Frankie Muniz. Fuck that guy.
Amazing show.
No, don't say that. Have you
That
heard
was an
about
amazing
him
show.
now?
He's probably on crack.
No, he did race car driving.
Yeah, he had a crash.
And his memories, like he's had a bunch of
concussions.
concussions, and now he doesn't even
He doesn't
remember being on
making
it.
Malcolm in the Middle. But trust me, that's one of
You're
the
mean.
best written shows ever made. But yeah,
Debatable. Very debatable.
Social interactions is
They
my-
started that.
No
looking
way.
in the circle thing.
We're going to check this out and talk about it on a later episode.
So-
No way they invented
Fans,
that.
back me up here.
Did they invent the
Both of
circle
you.
punch game?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, what is it
Circle
called?
punch.
Yeah, so social interactions, yeah. I don't know if I'd be able to survive any kind of environment because it's a zombie environment. Everyone locks themselves together in a confined spot. So but then I become a zombie and then I have to socialize with zombies.
So if the zombies were coming up to you, but instead of trying to eat your brain, so we're just asking you intrusive life questions.
I mean, I'd go into a fetal position, I guess, unless I had a shotgun.
Not if you had your mind fold and your Audio Technicas.
How did you discover mind folds?
I actually saw an Instagram of
One of them ads?
of one of my friends wearing them, and I instead of asking them directly what is that, I actually looked it up, and it was only $20 American. So
Was their post like, this is the best thing I've ever bought?
Yeah,
Or was
literally.
it like
No,
almost
literally.
tongue in cheek?
Isn't that,
they're
like,
literally
ironic?
the best thing because
Yeah.
If it's like blocking out social interactions, but then they put it on social media to say,
Yeah.
hey, I block out social. Yeah.
Do what I say, not what I do.
anyway, check it out. It's a really good thing if you travel a lot.
Mindfolds.
What about you, Brendan? You're a very organized person.
As far as a game that I'd hate to play is
No, like for a horror situation. Like putting yourself into like a horror situation of any kind, whether it's a zombie attack or...
no. That kind of stuff doesn't faze me. Like, obviously it would, but like if one of those outbreaks would happen, you know, I'd be shooting up to, you know, out to my family sort of property, getting the weapons, getting the gear. We'd be good to go. We'd survive this shit for a long time. We would.
So yeah, back to my antisocial behavior, but I think like with that, the downfall is going to be the human race because everyone's going to just, you know, screw each other over. But yeah.
I think
if you can make it there and get the stuff.
If you just locked me in a unbreakable box with like a window for my head and some oxygen, maybe some holes, and then I could just watch everything happen and not be
Just have
affected.
a big tube come into your mouth and we just pour food in there.
Yeah, there's
Keep
food.
it-
Oh, there's food in there. There's
Oh, just in biting range.
yeah,
So you just
some
like,
Soylent Green.
just like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. I guess it's sort of contradictory where I love isolation, but at the same time, maybe for long periods of time, that would probably freak me out a bit.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think it
exactly.
would freak you out because you're also like an amateur survivalist. So I think you would actually get excited about.
For a while.
I don't think Brendan would be able to handle being
You
by
just
himself
do
for
the
a whole
castaway
time.
thing and start
Yeah.
talking to a volleyball.
Oh, yeah. I'd find something to talk to. Maybe this light beside me could become my friend. Who knows?
Yeah. Or you just like do a Eric Cartman, start talking to your hand.
Taco flavored kisses.
Take a shot for every time we said taco in this
You guys
scary
are pretty
episode.
drunk today.
Yeah.
On spooky
Who's to
juice.
say I'm not?
Any other questions before we move on to what happened in this week in
No,
spooky
I
gaming?
think that's a good amount.
Yeah, if not, anyone can shoot
Tweet
us
us.
through. Yeah, some kind of tweet on the old Twitter sphere.
Horror tweet.
Scary tweets.
Scary tweets.
Put like one of them skull and crossbones emojis or the Anya mask, which kind of looks a bit scary emoji too.
It's like a penis nose.
Okay, so moving on to the biggest segment in the haunted Oceanias.
This week in gaming.
We've got 6 titles I wanted to bring to light in the darkness that is this scary episode that have come out this upcoming calendar week. Going from oldest to newest, in 2001 saw the release of Alien vs. Predator 2. I know it's not a true horror game per se overall, but playing as the Space Marine I think is the most horror vibe you'll get out of it. Obviously you've got the 3 campaigns, Predator, Xenomorph, Space Marine. I'm playing as that Space Marine with the tracker and the pulse noise when enemies are getting close, whether it be a cloaked predator or a fucking alien from the roof.
I don't remember ever getting that far in that game.
Whew, scary. It's one of the best PC games I've ever played. It probably doesn't hold up too well now. It's 16 years old, but fuck, I remember playing that game and just pooing my little 15-year-old pants back then, pushing forward with that tracker. Even though I got a pulse rifle and stuff, it still didn't feel very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Have you guys ever played it?
No.
It's so
From
good.
what I remember, I don't remember getting far.
And it's so good because you get 3 completely different experiences. You got the predator with his cloaking and his bloody discs and his shoulder cannon and all that, and then you've got the alien, which is super fast, can climb every wall, can go through vents, can be upside down.
Did they have a vision thing as well?
They had the alien vision, and they could whip with the tail, and then obviously the Marine with just the guns and things. It's such a good game. I'd love for them to remake one of them.
Me too, actually.
I know they tried with Colonial Marines a few years ago. Sadly, that was a dumpster fire of a game. Another game which obviously gets still a lot of play in the arcades these days, House of the Dead 3 was released in 2002.
How funny is it?
4 now, isn't it?
I think it's 5, truth be told.
How funny is it growing up like as a kid, and when you saw those games in the arcade, they had that little curtain around it, and now it's just
Off you go, kids.
No, some of them. A little funny story. We were playing. It wasn't a House of the Dead. It was equivalent. I think it's zombie, whatever the hell. And I was playing with Rachel the other week, and it's a 4D one. So you sit in
with
it,
the air and shit.
and the chair moves and vibrates. You've got your guns.
But that's for more an
air
immersive
blowing.
thing, right? Like that's trying to give you the full experience. That's the one where it checks your heart rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It gives you the heart rate off because it's like dual handled gun. And poor Rachel was just freaking out. She was literally blind firing, like holding the gun, just shooting at the screen and having her head down, eyes closed, like nuzzled into her shoulder. Because it was just freaking her out so much. So there is still that scary element to these games in the arcades. They are money eaters, though.
Oh, 100%.
really are, yeah.
It is impossible to finish any of these games on one credit.
But I mean, that's how it always was. I think it was actually probably worse back in the day. I mean, just playing, like, obviously all the old arcade games on the hyperdeck that we've got. I would be playing a side-scroller, and I'd get to a certain point, and something would happen that's just like, that was put there so that I have to put another credit in. Like, some unbeatable enemy.
I think way back in the arcades to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and even the Simpsons side-scroller game, those ones, impossible. Like, fighting games you can do on $1 or $2 or whatever if you're okay, but anything else outside of that,
Metal Slug.
Yeah. But good times, the old House of the Dead games, especially when they started bringing in upgrades with the graphics and like going away from just a pistol and using machine guns and shotguns and all that stuff. The next one, it's probably a game that none of us played, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. In 2004, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge came out on the PlayStation 2.
Nah, not one that I played.
And I'm not really big into Nightmare Before Christmas. I watched it once.
Me either.
I don't get the hype.
I like the film.
Either.
It's a big part of my, like, it's got the nostalgia hooks in me. I watched it a ton of times.
Imagery. like you apply that story to it, like something that's not with that imagery.
Yeah,
it just
but
doesn't make it.
It's very, for its day, nothing was like that. Like nothing played on those sort of darker Halloween-y, horror-y vibes and tried to plug it into a film that children and young adults could watch. It was all sunshine and rainbows and Lion Kings and that. And so I admire what Tim Burton did. I know, and it's very sad.
Well, Tim Burton actually pitched Nightmare Before Christmas 10 years before it got made. He pitched it and it got shot down. And then 10 years later, they approached him as like, hey, remember that movie?
Yeah, like it's funny with him. He's got his style and he goes that well with everything.
Helena Bonham Carter.
But I just think to the original Batman films. Like Batman Returns is one of the best looking Batman films, or even not best looking films, but just how it was shot and the art direction.
I really enjoy Big Fish.
Yeah, with Ewan McGregor, right?
Yeah. I can't watch that movie. I watched it once and obviously bawled my eyes out.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Yeah.
So the next one in 2005 saw the release of the first Fear game. You know, First Encounter Assault Recon or whatever they called it.
It's messed up, that game.
Alma, the sort of young lady spirit that haunts you through all these games. Great first person shooter.
Really, really good. And like from what I remember was kind of different from what I remember of a first person shooter and a horror element as well. I liked the transition between scenes and I thought that they did that really well. Yeah, very underrated. I still haven't played Fear 3 or F3AR as they named it. But the first two were brilliant. In 2007, Clive Barker's Jericho came out, which was a first-person shooter which I first jumped on one of the early iterations of the Xbox 360, if I do believe. And it was a squad-based shooter, first-person, where you almost transported into like a parallel universe. Each character in the game was a different class. There was like a sort of pistol guy that was almost like a priest, the heavy gunners and all that. A lot of demons. Played a lot onto sort of cults and the unknown and the paranormal. Okay. Very tense. Pretty scary. It was cool. Like Clive Barker led a lot of the art direction of the game. A lot of the creatures and the storyline. Obviously, he's sadly since passed away, but he's known as one of the pioneers of horror, especially at least modern day horror. Yeah. He's done a lot of great titles over the years. A lot of films that are pretty legendary out in that space. Yeah. And Jericho was a good game. Like it wasn't a 10 out of 10 by any means, but it was good fun. I remember its release, but I don't really remember much about its like actual content and how well it actually did.
Yeah, I'd love to go back and play it more now and see if it still stands up in any way. But really enjoyed it. And the last one I wanted to mention that dropped out in this calendar week in gaming, Dead Space. Yeah. 2008 saw the release of the first Dead Space.
Boy, oh boy.
Yes, sadly this week, Visceral Games has been given their marching orders, which is a big loss. Big shock. Like obviously they're under the EA umbrella. They were working on a Star Wars game. Yeah. No word yet on what's going to happen with that. They were talking about it's going to get reworked. I think EA Montreal might be picking this up now and going back to the drawing board with it. But Visceral Games, Dead Space 1 and 2 were fantastic. The third one wasn't a Dead Space game in my opinion. Got more shooty, more arcadey, but the first two, holy shit, they were intense.
I remember them being game changers. Especially in really introducing that space horror, like kind of like game, like and the alien isolation, like that kind of thing, where you're being isolated by space, but confined to like alien horror and then that kind of like stuff. It was really good. Like I remember it being really good on the jump scares as well, where you thought something was dead and then it comes up at you and the darkness. So
I loved with the Dead Space games is they were one of the first games to get rid of the HUD in game. Your health and everything was just shown on the back of your suit. There was no health. There was no sort of ammo counter on the bottom, stuff like that. I really liked that minimalistic style. And what you said, when an enemy had come at you and you'd blow their head off or whatever, and typically in a game, that's how you kill shit. But not in this. They'd keep coming. You'd have to shoot their legs off, and then they'd be crawling at you, or shoot their arms off because they had like blade arms and all that.
I remember. I think I even recall like you'd kill it, they'd be down. You'd walk past it, and next you know it'd be up again. Like
and the little babies or the little infants in. I think they only came in Dead Space 2. Could be in 1. It's been a while. But where they had the little almost like scissor blade arms and legs, and you'd have armies of them coming at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love those games so much, and it's so sad to see Visceral get dissolved. No doubt, a lot of their key people will hopefully get picked up and sort of keep doing what they do. But it's a tragedy because
love
It
you,
honestly,
Visceral.
yeah, I think it's more the shock than anything that really
Yeah.
got to people. Like
Yeah.
there was no warning from what I hear.
yeah,
So.
and it's a bit funny. How they shut down this studio known for making great narrative single player experiences, and literally it felt like 25 seconds later EA come out and they're like, hey, here's a new trailer focusing on the single player experience in Battlefront 2, and it's like it's a bit on the nose,
Yeah.
very much on the nose. Yeah, EA very much positioning themselves now as to games as a service where it's just microtransactions, and yeah, that's the way the world's going though. Not just in gaming. No one wants to own anything anymore. If you can lease games, lease products, pay a monthly fee for new enhancements, that's how the world's shifting. So we're going to see more of it. But that was the week that was in This Week in Gaming. That's a terrible sentence. A few events that you mentioned here. Miss Ali Blackheart.
Well, we thought events-wise, around the time of Halloween, a lot of gaming events going on that they usually bring out. So, obviously, I think we brought it up last week, which was Overwatch's Junkenstein's Revenge, Horde mode, much of the same of like previous year.
Some tasty new skins.
Taste new skins. The only one I'm really feeling is Zarya, her 80s retro.
Yeah, I also
blow
like the
reference, yeah.
Symmetra one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The sort of demigod she's got going on, that sort of demonish look.
Yeah,
Like something out of Diablo almost.
Yeah, and then Zenyatta. I don't know if it was actually mentioned that it is Cthulhu, but it looks like whoever comes up with the designs is fucking on point. But get in on that. It's finishing on November 1st, I think. So go through that, get your special boxes, loot boxes, because then, as everyone knows, once it's over, you can't get a hold
Or
of
just
them.
buy the skins because they're cheaper. So you can
The
actually
old
buy
ones
them.
are, yeah. Then you have Pokemon Go is doing a Halloween update where they're going to introduce monsters from Ruby and Sapphire. And they're also going to make the ghost Pokemon appear a bit more frequently during this time.
Good. Get that Haunter and Gengar, yo.
Oh, yeah. And Ghastly.
No one cares about Ghastly.
I like Ghastly. And then you're also going to find Pikachus with the token hat. So this is the witch's hat for the Halloween event. And usually it's a party hat and a cap.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they flog it, don't they? My lordy.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm the only person that really cares. And then you're also getting a, now this is a new one, so I don't really know how to say it, a Mimikyu? Mimikyu?
I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
Mimikyu.
Mimikyu themed hat for your trainer as well. So get on that while it's still going on.
Yes, that goes to November 6th. Was that right?
I think I didn't.
Early November.
Early November, yeah, which is a reoccurring event with most of these. And then you got WoW Hallows End event till November 1st, which seems to be mostly a lot of like looting and
yeah, there's a potential mask, wand, other fun holiday item up until November 1st. There's tricky treats obtained through daily missions as well as pumpkins spread throughout the inns on the map. And you can spend them at vendors outside of your capital cities. Then the last one.
Yeah, back to you really. Rocket League's first ever Haunted Hallows event, which is going on till November 6th. Something to do with candy corn at the end of every online match. I'm not really familiar with Rocket League, but apparently there's like a little candy corn trail at the end, and something to do with jack-o'-lanterns as well. So it's nice to see that, you know, even though you can play a game for as long as you can, i.e. Overwatch, WoW, Rocket League. But yeah, so it's really good that they do these events to freshen up these old games, so we all have something to look forward to seasonally.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully Destiny does something, but I think it's a bit too late now, isn't it?
Yeah, and I haven't seen anything announced, which is a shame. I remember they had on Destiny 1 during Halloween where you could get it was like a jack-o'-lantern head.
I don't think I was around for that.
But it was
I
limited
remember
use. I think you could only use it a few times, then after that it was gone, so you'd either wear it the whole time.
I actually had that.
Yeah. It looked great too.
It did look really, really good.
So, but it'd be cool if they had a couple of, custom Halloweeny emotes, Halloweeny shaders maybe.
Thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Thriller dance, something like that, or just a zombie walk in general, who knows.
Yeah.
But looks like Bungie and Co. are too busy catering their matchmaking system to maximize microtransactions, which is something we could unpack in a lot more detail. But I think we've talked about that kind of stuff too much over the last few weeks.
Scary enough.
Yeah, so that is what's going on at the moment in this Halloween-themed 83rd episode. What have you guys got coming up? Is there something in particular looking forward to in the next week or so? A game you're going to play? Something you're going to do?
There's this thing on in Melbourne. Pix, I think it's called.
Sax?
Six.
Six?
Matt. Yeah, I don't know. Look, the name escapes me, but it's a fairly decent sized gaming convention that I think we're going to have a lot of fun at. It looks promising, you know.
This little indie convention.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
No, of course. I mean, PAX is our focus, and
Yeah.
and that's going to be like dream come true type of shit for all of us. So I think we're all pretty psyched on that. But one thing I will be doing, well, actually I say I, but all of us, we will be doing, is going to the esports bar in Melbourne. Hopefully.
GGEZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try and make some time. The only thing I'm worried about with PAX coming up is those gaming-themed bars in Melbourne
packed out,
are going to
yeah.
be
Would you say
wall
that
to
they're going to
wall.
be paxed?
I think they will be paxed out, probably from open to close.
I'm
So
sorry.
I'm like, ugh, do I want to
Actually,
join
you're right.
long drink queues and be covered in other guys' sweat?
Well, we know the
And
answer
that's
to
after
that.
the bar.
Yeah, but yeah, so PAX is coming up this coming Friday through Sunday. We'll be there in conjunction with Audio Technica at booth 4640.
Please follow the Twitter if you want to see our whereabouts and what we're doing.
Or you can just tweet us directly on the day, and we'll direct you to where we are.
So we're excited for that.
Tweet
There's a
currently
lot
on
of
the toilet.
podcast recording going on at said event, whether it be us on the booth. There's a couple of other reputable podcast outlets going to be using the booth too, so pop along and sort of watch some stuff getting done live at booth 4640. There's also a VR station as well as a PC gaming station there, so you can test out gaming headsets, microphones, standard headsets, as well as some HTC Vive
Not
VR
to mention
goodness.
seeing some of us 8-Bit crew on other people's podcasts, so also keep an ear out for that.
That's true.
To hear
There's
where we'll be
some
appearing.
nice crossovers and collabs. We're also going to be doing part of a AGPN event called Party Mode, which is on the at the Wombat Theatre from 4:30 p.m. on the Saturday, which is going to be a whole heap of fun. There's also going to be other events. We'll be running around playing games, causing ruckus. So if you see us, come say g'day. Buy us a drink, or allow us to maybe buy you a drink, depending on how we're feeling.
You can buy me one. That's fine.
I gave him 2 seconds to jump in and interject, and he didn't even need the two.
I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, but I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get into some Fractured Butthole this week before we head on down to Melbourne as well.
Yeah.
And we're also doing a cool little event on Tuesday night in conjunction with the Starlight Foundation. We're going to be doing some podcasting and some gaming with all those legends out there at Westmead Hospital. So I'm looking forward to that very much. Sam will be there with us as well, so we're going to have the full contingent. Record some podcasts with them, play some games, have some fun. Just enjoy a bit of life with them. So it's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to that.
Hopefully create some inspiring podcasters of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap this sucker up and move on out of here for another week?
Cyber Taco.
Yeah. The new porno.
Oh, that was a good one.
You're welcome.
Okay, so check us out as a collective at We Are 8-Bit on all the socials. There's actually finally a new video up on the YouTube channel. Benny and his mate Stu did some hands-on with Project Cars 2, which recently released. So thanks to our Bandai Namco, we've got a copy of that. And they're actually doing it at full driving rig as well, so not on the controller.
Nice.
So it's a good video. Check it out at youtube.com/We Are 8-Bit. Hit us up on all the socials, as I said, as a collective at We Are 8-Bit. I can be found at Brendan 8-Bit. Sam can be found at Celine TD, I think, this week.
And I'm Kerbo 8-Bit.
And I'm at Miss Ali Hart.
Okay, until next week, 8-Bit Nation, much love.
Stay hungry.
Stay spooky.
And scary.
I'm scared.